We've seen over the last couple of years of working in the Azure space, there's a lot of different myths around Azure, how to use it, how to architect for it, etc. And today we're going to look specifically at architecture myths. One of the most common myths that I hear is that Azure is difficult to architect for, changes the way developers work, the way we operate, just the way we do things in general. So we're going to use a common scenario that we've looked at for a number of clients today to kind of dispel that myth. So we're going to start with a simple solution. The solution has an app for the front end. It could be a web app, mobile app, it doesn't really matter. Just for the nature of this conversation, it's just an application. Behind that app, we have a basic web service. And underneath that web service, we have a database solution. Let's say that that's using SQL Server. And to govern authentication in this overall solution, we're using Active Directory to manage security to each of those three components. So if we're looking at moving this out to the cloud, let's draw our nice little Azure cloud over here. Let's say we want to recreate the same solution. In Azure, we would put our app into a PaaS or an IaaS instance, depending on which one fits. In this case, let's say it's a simplistic website. So we just go with something that's a simple PaaS site. Then below that, we deploy out our web service, just like we would internally. And in this case, let's say it's a PaaS website as well. So what are some of the things we need to consider from an architectural perspective? Well, first off, there's some deployment considerations. When you're inside Visual Studio, you need to deploy a little bit differently if you're deploying out to Azure. The average developer takes about 10 to 15 minutes to figure out how to deploy differently to Azure. It's not that much of a difference. For your architects, there's a couple of other deeper considerations. The first is configuration. Your config files can be a little bit different as far as telling Azure how to manage servers and things like that. You can have a couple of differences in the way you manage state from one server to another. And then the other thing is if you're hosting an app locally, sometimes people will have a single server host, and they're fine with that because maybe it's not a mission critical app. Inside of Azure, you want everything to be in a parallel state. So you do need to make sure to architect your app to handle parallel execution. So making sure that it can handle being in a farm of multiple web servers. And these are things that we may want to spend about an hour or so with each architect, making sure they understand these subtle differences. So all in all, your investment at this point is a little bit low. Then behind your services, if we want to use a SQL Server, we'll still deploy the same SQL Server we would locally. One of the biggest differences is if we're using SQL 2012 inside Azure, we would end up putting that on maybe some HA VMs, so a pair of VMs and an HA configuration. And there are some configuration changes here. Usually if you're going at it alone, the configuration for these takes about 3 to 4 hours to figure out. If you've done it once or twice, it's maybe 20-30 minutes difference in the level of work if you were configuring HA locally. And if we want to put AD in front of it, we can definitely do so. Depending on the way you're configuring it, you may want to put an RODC, read-only domain controller, or you could put Azure AD or AD Premium. You could even take advantage of that AD you have locally and add ADFS between the two of them. And then now you've got AD that spans both environments and still can govern your application, your services, and your data layer and provide that smooth, convenient access control. So at this point, our application doesn't look all that different from the one on the left. Maybe you've upgraded SQL, maybe you've configured things to be a little bit more robust, but those are good best practices either way. They're not necessarily Azure best practices. And so, hopefully by looking at this video, you can see that the architecture inside Azure isn't dramatically different from the architecture that we use locally. So with any luck, those will have dispelled some of those architectural myths. Thanks a lot for joining us for another video, and this is Brian Blanchard signing off.